I know I'll burn it down if I'm drowning in brown. Can't let this be my legacy. Be my hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. How are you? How are you? How is everyone? Come in. How are you? All I've ever done is rock bottom. And I always got the only rock bottom. But then I feel the only rock bottom. And to get out of rock bottom. I know it's hey everyone, coming in to say hey so I can see you. I appreciate you guys being here tonight. This is a very important night. I am Margie Dartmouth. I trust them. Yeah, appreciate each and everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. So we're gonna give it a little time. See if anybody comes up. Rock bottom. And I always got the only rock bottom. And I feel the only rock bottom. And to get out of rock bottom. God. Graphics, except things I can. Hurry, change the things I can. It's wisdom to know the difference. That's for the day. I'm feeling jaded, oh, give me a sign. My hands are shaking, but can you guys hear me? You guys hear me tonight? You know what I need over. Please help me take it one day at a time. And I don't know what recovery's like, but I know I'm sick and tired of this life. I hit my knees and pray. So I'm gonna be reading off of the computer a lot. Today, so every day. Really, every minute of every day, I put the same folder. Then I got it bad up my dad made over. I feel like a page in the folder. Then I'm on that goose my waist and waiting colder. See the shit till I flip like a light switch. Looking for somebody big to start a fight with. Even thought shit with a couple others don't fight with. Really ain't no telling how crazy my night might get. Man, that ain't how it's supposed to be. I'm wrong. I should give up the drink socially. But I stay for the people close to me. I let the alcohol go and get the most to be the best of me. Addiction be tasting me. The less I think, the less I breathe. The less I drink, the less I eat. Really thought that it was best I leave and try to give up all these messy needs. I just said, take a look at where it landed me. Somewhere between the bottom and the sanity. I just try to rise above it like a canopy. And even close to being the way I plan to be. I do this for me and my family. Never tell nobody what you stand to be. See, any man who ain't standing for what he believes in really ain't a man to me. Truthfully. Hey everyone, if you're coming in, just say hey in the chat so I know that you're here. I appreciate you being here tonight. I'm really nervous. Thank you. I'm gonna be reading off my laptop a lot because I have been writing my life into it's just like chapters. So I'm gonna do each individual live on each individual part. And today just happens to be my recovery, my my story, my recovery story. So I'm gonna kind of introduce myself a little bit, let you know what I am. Hi, Mark. How are you? And just tell you my recovery story and why I am where I am today. And why I am the way I am today. And why I think that way I can it all just dates back to my recovery, my addiction. I know that chances I'm actually really nervous. I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here tonight. I might be a little fidgety. I'm laying together a little bit, but that comes with me being here. And once again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Tonight's really personal for me. I'm sharing my recovery with you guys. My goal for this life is to not cry. That is my goal. And I don't know what because so we're gonna cry. But I know I'm trying to keep my eye contact as I can. I hit my knees and pray. I'm gonna read. Don't need a better way. I'm trying to stay so today because, like I said, it's pretty long. But yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you guys being here tonight. Before I start,
Since I
first
started
everyone tuning in
water
from
can cocktails to my guests. Hey, hi, how are you?
where you guys
Hey,
going?
going good.
Where you going?
I'm going from
Where are you
host
guys all
to
tuning in from?
thanks to Cutwater, I can make real
Drop a blue heart in the chat if you have overcome something.
crack my can with Cutwater open and pouring it over
If
ice.
you ever
Cutwater,
overcome something in
real
your life, drop a blue
Coffee
heart in the chat.
2025, Cutwater Spirits in Weaver, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Welcome in, welcome in. Where are you guys tuning in from today? Once again, I'm going to share my recovery story with you guys. If anybody had ever achieved something, drop a blue heart in the chat. If you've ever overcome something in your life, drop a blue heart in the chat. Okay. I'm gonna do.
You make a lot of money and you live in the mentally pretty.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so nervous and anxious right now,
You got nothing, so what you
and
do
that
is talk on back,
really
running in the direction and you look at
landed right here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
what you're doing is
So once again, I'm sharing my recovery story. I'm going to be reading off my tablet here. As I said, I'm putting in a chapter. So today is actually the first chapter, the first start. It's going to be my recovery story. I'm about to get into my recovery story with you guys right now. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you guys, for being here and just listening to me and hearing me out. I'm very nervous. I have anxiety really bad. But guess what? My goal is to not cry this time. I can achieve it, right, guys? I think so. I can. Okay. As you guys already know, my name is Brittney, and this is my recovery story. I was born in '90s. My parents. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
you wake up in the morning.
Can somebody let me know if you can hear me?
Working, you feeling like you ain't got a purpose, and you trying to get motivated, but everything you do.
Okay, thank you so much.
Like you ain't up to a purpose. And yo, you look around a lot of these other people you looking at. See, you describe as person. You point a finger at God and tell him to do his job.
Okay.
Fix your life up, cause
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Well, there ain't that many people here. This is my first one as well. Okay. I was born in '90s. My parents were together and married when I was young. In fact, my dad carried me down the aisle when they got married before I even turned 20 years old. Growing up, my parents raised me and my two younger sisters, me and Mercedes. I am the oldest. How do I do? And thank you, thank you. Okay, okay. So yeah, I was born in the '90s. My parents were together and married when I was young. That my dad carried me down the aisle, like I said. I was almost 20 years old. I was in his arms under the altar. So yeah, growing up, my parents raised me and my two younger sisters, Stephanie and Mercedes. I was the oldest. Stephanie was the middle, and Mercedes is the youngest. We had what we wanted: food on the table, clothes for school, a roof over our head. We weren't rich, but we weren't without either. But behind closed doors, things weren't always perfect. My dad struggled with alcoholism, and when he drank, things could get very bad. I watched my father abuse my mother. Some of those moments stayed with me forever. I remember once seeing him dump a pot of hot spaghetti over my mom's head during an argument. As a child, seeing things like that changes you. It changes you forever. It really does. It really messes with you. It really does.
Stuck in my cynicism, can't figure which way to go to get myself out this depression. Want to win it, it's worth it. wondering while I'm searching, wondering if I find out that nothing is ever perfect. I wonder
Yeah,
if
my
God
dad threw out orders and then when he drank things could get very bad. I watched my father abuse my mother. Some of the moments they just took what you fed her. I remember one day I walked into the kitchen and my mom just got done cooking.
that I
It was actually a pot of spaghetti. He took that pot of spaghetti and just dumped it over her head for no reason. For no reason. Like he just took the hot spaghetti, she just mixed the sauce, the meat all together, down over her head. Traumatized. I was traumatized. Like I was having nightmares. I was just going through it. Child seeing things like that changes. They really do. In the early 200s, around 2001, my parents split up. My mom left my dad and started a life in a whole nother town. Like it was 30 minutes out of where my dad was. Sorry about that, guys.
almost got an addiction. So which is home. She playing the same old game as she
I do.
trees for being a shoulder to try. I went to hurricane again. Nobody was say it. I
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry.
now I'm looking at she's the she was a scout. Cause now I feel it like I'm not there when I can remember my from apart. I keep for the top. It's it, it's slowly they would tell. I listen closely as my sins begin to yell. Oh, if these kids could tell how proud
So, yeah, like I was saying, in the early 2000s, around 2001, my parents split up. My mom moved my dad and she started a whole nother life in a whole nother town, which I said was 40 minutes out of our town. We were from Huntington, Pennsylvania. She moved to Saxon, Pennsylvania, which was Bedford County. Um, so yeah, actually, me and my sisters had to make the choice if we wanted to live with our mom or our father. My sister chose my father and I chose my mother.
these kids could tell.
Never did I want to be split up from my sisters. We were like best friends. We were like until we became preteens. So, so I went with my mom. That didn't last. The new town environment didn't work out for me, so I moved back with my dad. That didn't last long either, guys. My behavior started spiraling like crazy, and I started skipping school, even class, cursing at teachers, throwing things, and getting kicked out. Eventually, the school said I could either go back home. I can go back home with my mom, or they're gonna put me in a group. Of course, I chose my mom. Who wants to be in a group? Who wants to be taken from their family? So yeah, I went back with my mom. My mom wasn't a strict parent. She loved us, but she didn't say no very often. Does that make sense? Like,
That's right.
if she did say no, we knew that she really didn't mean it. And as teenagers, we took advantage. I mean, when I say we, I mean me and my sisters, but me
Love
definitely.
the way you fucking hate me, I'm fucking hate you. Now it's your turn to feel.
Yeah, about 3 years after my parents split up, my dad passed
Don't well when the
away.
rain
Which one?
is
So after that, my sisters and I, we all ended up living with our mom in a small town called Saxon. Pennsylvania. There wasn't much there, and we didn't have much family around us. I don't think we have no family. It was just my uncle, my dad, a few cousins, nothing big. Like, I don't know what family is until I just made my own family. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea. My dad passed away. After that, my sisters and I ended up back living together with our mom. There wasn't much to do. We didn't have family friends. It didn't go well. I got kicked out and placed in alternative education. Around that time, I started smoking. I realized I liked the way it made me feel. Then I tried Suboxone pills, and I loved how that made me feel.
I just to be numb to the world.
I hate you for life. Something to make you cry too soon. We gotta sing along.
When I was high, the
Gotta
worst
sing
didn't
along.
hurt. I didn't have to face anything. I didn't feel anything. I didn't talk about it. I could do things and not think back on them later. Yoga became my escape from the world. Like, they really did.
I'm so loved, don't wanna be found. Don't you lay your hand, kick me to the ground. So I'm on the two. That's what I want you to do. Nothing to lose. Put myself in school. I can't stand it when you feel like you're the only one that's right. To play right from my bed, cut me open.
By the time I was 14, I was living in a trailer with my mom, my two sisters, and my mom's girlfriend, who later became my godmother. She honestly took care of us more than my mom did. My mom was more like my best friend. She sometimes enabled me, if that makes sense.
Don't help when the pain that you're killing is so.
Yeah, she just wanted me to be happy. To be happy. Want to tell me no to upset me or anything. But something inside me always felt missing. I was always sad. I always felt that. That's when I started spending more time out on the streets. Around that time, I met my oldest child's father. At first, I didn't ever find him attractive. I didn't love him, but I was young and I stayed. Eventually, I had two children. I got pregnant at the age of 15. I didn't even, I didn't even realize. I just didn't realize what I was doing, or I didn't think about it, or
Life gets a lot easier once you start using Shipt same day delivery. With Shipt, connect with reliable shoppers. Go to your fave national and local stores for you. They hand select everything on your list. You get peace of mind and time back for anything. More time to sip coffee, more time to work out, more time to enjoy your way. Try Shipt today with a 14-day free trial.
I didn't even realize at first that my child's father's parents sold each. They sold drugs. Once I did, everything changed. It wasn't about love anymore. It was about seeing my addiction. His parents always had each, and they always gave it to me every day. It was the same thing. Rugs, rugs, rugs. Eventually, his parents passed away, and by the time I was 16 with a newborn daughter, we ended up homeless and loaded. It's insane. Scariest thing I've ever had to experience. If it wasn't for my mom taking my children, I wouldn't still have them today. I went back home, but instead of getting better, things got worse. At 18 years old, I started selling drugs out my mom's trailer. Eventually, the police raided the trailer because I was selling drugs. They took everything apart, breaking ceiling tiles, destroying everything, throwing our TVs, everything in the water, turned the water on, let the water just drown over. Like they didn't care, they destroyed everything just because he and my child's father was selling drugs out of a trailer, and that's when we got busted. And they broke in for him. They took him. He had a dress. I didn't have a dress. But when they raided us, I had drugs from him, so I was cheap. Yeah, my child's father and I were both charged after that. I bailed out, but he ended up doing 5 years. He didn't bail out not once. He did straight 5 years. 5 years in prison. Those 5 years, my addiction got worse than ever. My mom raised my two children while I was out living a life completely controlled by drugs. I tried selling drugs again, but I was using more than I was selling. When that stopped working, I started selling from stores to skip my addiction. Trade it, sell it, take it back. Then I bought it. Then I got caught. Probation and jail. Then probation again, and jail again. 6 months here, 6 months there.
in and out of the county jail over and over again, over and over again. Eventually, I ran out of chance. 2014, I was sent on state prison. That's when I truly lost everything. My family, my dog, my children, my freedom. First of all, the trust in people who love me. When I got out of prison in 2017, I was sent to a halfway house in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, because my home, my father told me I couldn't go. So I didn't have a home plan, so I had to go to a rehab or a halfway house. So I had to wait for a bed to a halfway house in order to call. So that meant I had to do 2 extra months. I just did 2 extra months until I was ready to make a comment. So finally, so yeah, when I got out of prison in 2017, I was sent to the halfway house here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I got a job right away. Within 2 days, I had a job. Like all I did was work, 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 work. Which is like about a month after working, I decided to actually just go out, have fun because I wasn't restricted from drinking. So I was, went out to the bar. I didn't drink. I had like a first after at the end, shoot with a couple of people. That night changed my life. I got pregnant with my son. Now I was in the halfway house, pregnant, terrified, and painful. It's the biggest decision of my life. Biggest decision that changed my life. There was no way I could have an abortion. There was no way I could get my baby up for adoption. And there was no way I could raise another child. So I had two choices. Get clean and build my life, my family, or lose another child. I chose my children. That's why I am where I am today. I chose my children. I've been trapped inside this bottle like a gypsy. I ended up getting like a small bedroom apartment. It wasn't the nicest place in the world, but it wasn't prison. It wasn't a halfway house, and I wasn't have to get my baby. I could keep my baby. The apartment became the place my life started. Not long after, I met the man who is now my husband. We've been together for 7 years. He has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. He gave me the best gift God could ask. Anybody could ask for. Not God could ask for. Anybody could ask for. He gave me my 7 year my youngest. He gave me my baby. That I couldn't give him up. Today, I see that's my life. I would never take it back. Take medicine to help, but I don't want it. And part of me is scared I won't wake up in the morning. Sleep is the cousin of death, but I don't know. Let's keep it that way. He helped me build a life. I worked and worked and worked. Paying bills, taking care of my children, and I live life sober. Today, I am 11 years in recovery. My daughter is getting my daughter. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. How are you guys? How are you guys? My daughter's getting ready to graduate. My son's starting kindergarten, and my husband loves all of us. Loves my other children like they're his own. He don't look at it no other way. He can't hold it. Alienated is his children. Life isn't perfect, but it's beautiful, guys. Recovery gave me life back. And if you're reading this thinking there's no way out, I promise you there is. Because if someone like me can rebuild their life, anyone can, guys. They really can. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Even though I'm damaged, I'm standing on mountain tops. I'm lost where I should go from here. I don't know. I've lost, but the pain don't anyway. Show me. Does anybody have any questions? I don't see anybody in here, but I have really just been wanting to share my recovery. It's been really quite heavy. Like I said, I'm gonna do it in like chapter. I'll be more prepared next time. I'm just like last minute blindsided on it this time. I want you guys to know, you guys are here. This is your sign. You guys are here today. This is your sign. And if you're not here and you watch this is your sign, guys. You're all beautiful. China, my next chapter is gonna be. Hold on one second. I can tell you the name, but I close. The top bonus bottle that the real nice when I'm wrong is the top right. Lately I'm trailing my pain. It's a bottle that made me change. No matter what I take, I feel the same. I think about these shackles and shit. Where is it? Damn, these addictions just can't. There we go. Actually, my next one's gonna be the summer that changed everything. So, I'll definitely put it in my live events. I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow night or tomorrow afternoon. But I'm gonna get that together when I get off of here and get that up. Again, thank you guys for joining. Anybody that watched me, I appreciate you more than anything. Sorry for being so anxious and fit to be. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining in and hearing my story. If you guys want your story heard, we can get that done. If you guys want to speak out on something, message me. Send me a message. We can get it out to the world. Yeah. Anyways, I want you all to have a blessed night. Thank you guys for joining in tonight. I appreciate you guys. If you ever want to write these songs.